There's a strange feeling you can't quite explain. Not confusion, not sadness, not even anxiety, just a quiet sense that something is missing. Like you're here, but not fully inhabiting your own life. You call it being lost, but what if you're not lost at all? What if no one has ever truly claimed you? You wake up, you move through your day, you respond, perform, adjust. You say the right things, you act the right way, you become what the moment requires. But underneath all of it, there's this quiet distance, like you're watching yourself live instead of living. This is not laziness, this is not lack of direction, this is something deeper. In psychology, this experience often connects to identity diffusion, a state where your sense of self hasn't fully consolidated, not because you failed to build it, but because it was never safe to fully own it. So instead, your mind learned something else: adapt, blend, stay acceptable. And over time, you became available to everyone else, but unavailable to yourself. Let's shift something important. You don't feel lost because you lack direction. You feel lost because no internal system has claimed authority over your life. There's a difference. Being lost means there's no path, but being unclaimed means there are too many influences, and none of them feel like you. Your thoughts feel borrowed, your decisions feel delayed, your identity feels negotiable, and your brain interprets that as disorientation. But this isn't dysfunction, it's an adaptation. To understand this, you have to understand how the brain builds a self. Your sense of identity is not something you're born with fully formed. It's constructed over time through a process called self-referential integration, where experiences, emotions, and choices are organized into a stable narrative. But here's the key. This process requires permission. Permission to feel, permission to choose, permission to exist without constant correction. If at any point in your life that permission was inconsistent, your brain learned something critical. Don't fully commit to being someone. Stay flexible. Stay safe. So instead of forming a solid identity, your mind built a responsive system, a system that scans the environment, adjusts behavior, and avoids internal conflict. This involves the prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making, working overtime to simulate possibilities, while the default mode network, which stabilizes your sense of self, remains under-anchored. The result? You think a lot, you feel a lot, but nothing quite lands, because there's no central owner inside your system. So how do you begin to feel claimed? Not by others, but by yourself. Start by reducing external referencing. Right now, your brain constantly checks, what should I do? What would make sense? What would be right? This creates a loop of external validation. It keeps your identity flexible, but unstable. To interrupt this, you need to reduce input. Not forever, just enough to hear your own signal. Before making a small decision, pause. Don't ask what's best. Ask, what feels mine? Even if the answer is unclear, the goal is not accuracy, it's ownership. Create micro-commitments. Your brain builds identity through repeated choices, not big ones, small, consistent ones. This is how neuroplasticity works. The more you act in a certain way, the more your brain encodes it as you. So instead of searching for your purpose, start claiming tiny territories. What you wear, what you say no to, what you keep. Each decision is a vote, and over time, the pattern becomes visible. tolerate internal discomfort. When you start acting from yourself, it will feel wrong, not because it is wrong, but because it is unfamiliar. Your nervous system is wired to prefer predictability over authenticity. So when you choose something that isn't based on past patterns, your nervous system signals uncertainty. This is often mistaken for a mistake. It's not. It's just your system recalibrating. Stay with it. That discomfort is the beginning of alignment. Name your experience. Language stabilizes identity. When you name what you feel, think, or prefer, you strengthen the neural pathways that recognize you. Instead of saying, "I don't know what I want," try, "A part of me wants this, and another part resists it." Now something exists. Now something can be understood. You're not empty. You're unarticulated. Imagine your mind as a house. Right now, the lights are on, the rooms are furnished, people come and go, but no one is clearly living there. No one is saying, "This is mine." So everything feels temporary, unsettled. Not because the house is broken, but because it's unclaimed. What you're doing now is not building a new house. You're slowly stepping inside and turning toward the space as its owner. Not aggressively, not forcefully, just consistently. You don't need to find yourself. You're already there, in fragments, in signals, in quiet preferences you've ignored. The feeling you call lost is actually the absence of ownership. And ownership doesn't arrive all at once. It forms in moments, small decisions, uncertain steps, quiet claims. So next time you feel that emptiness, don't rush to fix it. Don't search for direction. Just ask, gently, "What here is mine?" and stay with whatever answers, because that's where it begins, not with clarity, but with claiming.